grateful to see everyone this morning. Last week, I talked about the 4 immeasurable minds, which are also known as the 4 Brahma Viharas, or the 4 sublime abodes, which are a set of Buddhist virtues that we can learn to cultivate. Loving kindness, compassion, joy, and equanimity. And these qualities are considered immeasurable because they can be extended and applied to all beings without limit. Those people you like, those people you don't like. Did you have a chance to apply them the past week? Or notice, maybe? Some of you are nodding. And we also did a beautiful meditation, a spirit hack, last week of breathing in self-love into our bodies and just allowing it to circulate. And I know some of you told me that that was very powerful and that you've been using that. Very, very good. So the Centers for Spiritual Living theme this month is On the Wings of Love. And my title today is Love's Ascent into Peace. In the Science of Mind philosophy, we believe that love is omni-directional. It radiates in all directions. It's ever-present, and it's infinite, and it flows through every moment, in every space, and in every life. It's not confined or limited by circumstances. Rather, it's the essence that moves through all of existence. Doesn't always seem that way, but it's there. And when we love and care for ourselves, and we extend love and care to others, we're not engaging in a separate act of love. Instead, we're participating in a unified field of love that has no boundary. It doesn't discriminate. So every expression of love, whether directed inward or outward, becomes part of this vast interconnected flow. So when we choose, and we're always at choice, we know, to express love, we create a space for us to rise and to grow, and to bring us to peace. Not only bring us to peace, but the people around us to peace. So are you ready to be a mindful gardener and tend to the seeds of love and compassion and care wherever you go?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And nurture them through your actions, your words, and your thoughts. My life expands the idea of love to new heights. Let's say that. My life expands the idea of love to new heights. I am at peace.
I am at peace.
So just having the idea is a start. Ascending into peace. I don't know about you, but that sounds pretty darn good. Reverend David Bruner was in the San Jose CSL church, he's retired, said this. Listen carefully. Being peaceful is giving up the interpretation that there's something wrong here, even when there is something wrong here. Being peaceful, I'm going to say it again, it's a little riddle. Being peaceful is giving up the interpretation that there's something wrong here, even when there is something wrong here. What an invitation to shift our focus and our attention. Because yes, there may be something wrong. There may be something wrong with my finances. There may be something wrong with my body, my relationships, with the world. But our resistance is optional. Our suffering is optional. That we can redirect, how we accept or resist what's showing up. And we have to practice and remember and reconnect to our power. That one power, one heart, one mind in the name of love, like the song said. Not by walking away from something, not by pretending everything's just fine, but by removing the layers of judgment that we tend to stack on very real challenges we face. always go as we plan?
No.
No. So we can ask ourselves, how can I let this be what it is without needing to label it as broken or wrong? Just asking that question. Be curious. You know, that's sort of been my motto for years with all of you, is be curious about what's showing up. Maybe it's not wrong. Maybe it's not broken. Maybe it's here for a reason. Or ask yourself, can I stay grounded without needing everything to be smooth? What if I could be peaceful in the midst of this mess? What if I could be peaceful in the midst of this fill in the blank? And you know what? When we ask those open-ended questions, a new experience starts to emerge. It has to. I know that I don't have all the answers yet I know that for me, I'm not in the same place that I was when I began this spiritual journey 40 plus years ago. I'm in a different place. So every day when we do our practices, we have an opportunity to no longer interpret the mess as a sign that something's wrong. We can see it as a part of our unfolding, our growth, part of our path, part of an opportunity to do something better or different. Remember your gold nuggets today, please. So, is anybody navigating something in life that's a little challenging? You don't have to raise your hand. And maybe it isn't going as you imagined it would. Whether it's personal, professional, or spiritual, I offer you this. What would happen if you stopped making the challenge mean, again, that something's broken? What if you let it just be what it is, without the extra story, without the drama? Oh, I know some of you love drama. Bless our hearts. We might still have to solve problems. You might still be tired, but you might also discover that peace isn't what waits for you at the end of the project. Peace is what you bring to the middle of it. Peace is what transforms the mess into something holy and sacred. Peace is what allows you to stay rooted in your purpose even when nothing seems to go as planned. Think about that. Peace in this context is not an escape. It's a form of mindfulness, attention, devotion. And I have to tell you, I'm still practicing. Moment by moment, I practice. I just keep practicing. I bring peace to this situation. Say that.
I bring peace to this situation.
Just think about something maybe in your life right now that's distracting you, upsetting you, making you feel, Do you ever feel, I bring peace to this situation. Say it again. Just think of it. I bring
Peace to this situation.
And bring that in. We don't have to know how to make something happen, but we have to make it welcome. And we make it welcome by saying or affirming or writing it down. In the Science of Mind magazine this month, there's an article by Ernest Holmes, the founder of Science of Mind. It's called The Next Voice You Hear. And this article was based on a 1950 movie that Ernest Holmes attended a screening of. And the film imagined a world where God's voice suddenly spoke through every radio, calling on humanity to change their ways. Well, Ernest was inspired and used it to offer the reflection, what if that voice is already speaking? Not through the airwaves, but within each of us. Our philosophy here offers the idea that the voice of the divine isn't booming out there above us somewhere, but it's an inner knowing. The quiet guidance that surfaces through intuition, love, and clarity. and it speaks a universal language, one that cuts through fear and division. Whether you call it God, Spirit, the Creator, or simply wisdom, that message is the same. We are all connected, and love is the path home. Period. Think about it. Even though cultures, beliefs, and traditions differ, the core desire of the human heart remains the same. Everyone wants peace, belonging, kindness, and understanding, right? I mean, it's a common denominator we all agree on. So in this article, Ernest Holmes said, "We have more in common than we realize. Every normal person in the world loves someone, or has. Love, then, is a common denominator. It speaks 1,000 different tongues, but it always emanates from the same source." He said there's a common denominator, even in a smile. If you were to go into the deepest jungle, or walk down a great city street, or if you were to visit another culture and smile at them, they would smile back. A smile is a common denominator. Human goodness is a common denominator. All acts of kindness are common denominators. These are the voices of God in action, reminding us that we are never separate from the divine or from one another. That's why I love to remind us to smile at each other. The acronym is Start My Internal Love Engine. Smile. You're on life's camera. So the noise of today has grown a little bit louder than in 1950 when the movie came out, The Next Voice You Hear. Don't you think the noise is a little louder today? I mean, maybe it is, maybe it isn't. And that's why our daily spiritual practices and our communion with stillness are more vital than ever. But rather than shutting out the world's noise, we can see it as an opportunity to bring a prayer, a blessing, a thank you. Add some light. Hold a sacred space. Even in the headlines of injustice, pain, and division, we can hold a better place. So perhaps what we need now is not more people tuning out, but more awakened souls like you willing to deeply tune in. Tune in. Reverend Stephen Van Meter said, if you don't go within, you go without. If you don't go within, you go without. Wise. That's so wise. So take a breath. So in the book study I'm doing this week, starting this week, this is from there, and it's a chapter on word yourself up. Like how do you talk to yourself? And this is called Love God, Love Thyself. Self-love is the act of acknowledging ourselves through creation. It means we recognize our value as a byproduct of our existence. It's so funny that self-love gets confused with arrogance when it's really such a humble act. Self-love is the understanding that we matter because we are, not because we're rich or famous or talented or beautiful or successful. Self-love means loving ourselves simply because we exist. When we truly love ourselves, we understand what it means to love God, because we are in touch with the divinity that animates all beings and all life. That is why people who love themselves are holy. People who love themselves recognize there's no separation between individual beings and that there's no separation from God or the divine. Loving themselves is prayer, a prayer. ourselves comes along with the understanding that every time we say something to ourselves, we're saying it to God, the divine. So if I tell myself I'm an idiot, I know none of you have ever done that. I'm calling God an idiot because I'm God's creation. Anytime we put ourselves down, we're putting creation down, we're putting down the very fiber of life. When we judge, when we condemn, we're challenging God's creation in saying, I can only love and accept that which I understand from my limited perspective. Which means we really don't actually love God, because God is not limited to one form or one perspective. And God's love is never, ever conditional. So self-love means being able to love God's creation in all its forms, which includes you, by the way. Love's ascent into peace. I accept the love that I am.
I accept the love that I am.
Breathe that in, whatever that means to you. Accept the love that you are right now. That's why when we embody the four immeasurables, loving kindness, compassion, joy, equanimity, and the 6 spiritual manners we talked about a few weeks ago, gratitude, enthusiasm, integrity, respect, generosity, and creativity, they all have the power to heal the illness of anger, sorrow, hatred, division, separation, and more, both within us and for others. So ask yourself daily, who can I make smile today? Who can I share my smile with today? This is the art of creating happiness, spreading the love into peace, being grateful. As the 13th century Persian poet and Sufi mystic Rumi said, your task is not to seek for love, but merely to seek and find all the barriers within yourself that you have built against it. Your task is not to seek for love, but to merely seek and find all the barriers within yourself that you have built against it. So we practice forgiveness, we practice loving ourselves, we practice. And the next voice you may hear just may be a loving, caring reminder of your magnificence and your potential to love and be loved. So listen. In your meditation, be quiet, open to that voice, so that your love can ascend you into peace, a peace that passeth understanding. Are you in?
Yes.
Yes.
Say, I'm in.
I'm in.
I'm really in.
I'm really in.
I'm really in.
I'm really in.
Let's take that into prayer. As we open to this idea of love, that big L, capital L love, knowing that spirit is our source, our strength, our power, one heart, one mind, one power, in the name of love, we simply breathe that in to our physical body, mental body, emotional body, spiritual body, knowing that that idea that we're planting the seed right now of love opens us to a healing, opens us to wholeness, simply by saying yes and being receptive to that connection with the divine. And removing, dissolving any barriers that hold us back. So I know and claim today that each of us has faith in a greater good, faith in knowing that with love consciousness, all things are possible. That we breathe, we relax, knowing that we live, move, and have our being in pure spirit. Always, in all ways. And so I'm grateful to know that this week we are willing and able to rise above, to ask open-ended questions, and to trust that we are guided and directed in the perfect way for us, and that everything in our life is unfolding exactly as it needs to. Divine right action, divine right order, divine right timing. I know and claim this for each of you. And so we celebrate this moment, we celebrate this week coming up, we celebrate each other. And we just let it be. And join me in affirming.
And so it is.
That's all I got.
Hey.